Hi, welcome to part 2 of Gradehub within the UAA Blackboard system. We will be going over how to set up the answer key and how to print out the answer sheets for your students. To begin, navigate to the content area where you already set up that initial exam. For us, it's week 1 test located in the Gradehub section. I will go ahead and click on week 1 test, and the LTI link will launch for the tool. We can see here that the week 1 test and the ID has popped up. To begin, you do not need to set up the answer key before printing out the exams. So let's go ahead and print out the exams. To do that, click on the PDF icon to the left of the name of the exam. You will get your printing instructions, and we can see that there's a checkbox for pre-fill student IDs. If you have a large amount of students in your class, leave this checkbox not checked, as what this checkbox does will automatically fill out the student's name and the student's ID on the exam ahead of time. However, for now, we don't need to do this. So we can just go ahead and click download. We can see here that the class shows up on the answer sheet in the top. With a place for students to put their first name, last name, and student ID. Students will need to know their student ID, as this is what associates their answer sheet to their account in Blackboard. We can see here they can mark the version of the test that they are taking and what answer key. In the top left, it gives the students instructions on how to answer. Gradehub prefers an X in each box unless you need to revise your answer. Okay. Now that you have printed out each of your Gradehub sheets for the students, let's go back into Gradehub. Now it's time to set up your answer key. To do this, we click on the name of the exam, so week 1 test. Next, we'll select Edit Answer Keys. Once selected, the answer key window pops up. We can see here on the left-hand side column, we can go all the way down to 150 questions. To begin, let's start with question 1. Question 1 says I can choose either A, B, C, D, or E for the answers. So I'll select A. All you do is type in the letter of the answer that you want, and you can see it has now populated a point for that answer. Let's say for question 2 though, the answer could be A or C. To do this, I will type A and I will type C. We can see here again, points have been selected. Now, I'll go ahead and I'll fill out the rest of these. B, A, and we'll just do A again. 5 questions. If you remember back to part 1, we set our initial test point value to be 10. We now need to match that here. To do this, we'll need to click into the Advanced tab. The Advanced tab allows us to select how many points they get for getting the answer right and how many points they lose for getting the answer wrong. You can also designate a question as extra credit on the exam. So we set the initial point value for 10. To change the points, I'll highlight the 1 and type in 2. We have now set that to be 10 points overall. If I wanted to, I can even go 6, we'll put E, and I'll mark that extra credit. I'll also give them 2 points for that. Perfect. We can go ahead and click Save. However, let's say you're giving out multiple tests to multiple students, and you want to set up multiple answer keys. To do this, we'll go back into Edit Answer Keys. We can see here A has been saved. Now to change it to answer key B, right down here in the bottom left where it says key A, select that and click key B. We can now go ahead and fill out different answers. And once we have done that, we can assign the points. Perfect. Let's click Save. And we'll go the extra credit too. Save. Perfect. Thank you for watching part 2 of the Gradehub in the UAA Blackboard system, going over setting up your answer keys and printing out your student answer sheets. Stay tuned for part 3, as we will be going over uploading exams once students have taken them and releasing their grades back.